finally put this BMW X6 on the lift. So let's take a look and see what's damaged over here. So obviously, as you can see, this right front suspension is shot. So look at this control arm. Look at this side. You see, this one is kind of straight, and this one is a V shape. So obviously, the control arm is damaged. The inner tie rod is broken, inner and outer probably. This the strut, the fork that holds the strut is broken right here. The axle, obviously, the boot is ripped up, and so pretty much the whole suspension is finished. So I didn't get the whole suspension complete. I just got the arms. I got the strut used from eBay for like probably 150, 200 bucks with the fork, because usually that fork is sold separately, and it's like $100 or $200 just for the fork. But I got the whole used axle with the fork cheap. So I got both arms, this one here, and this one, because chances are it's also bent. You can't really see it because it's like curved. But I got this arm as well. Both of them I got on eBay for like 60 bucks each. So that was really cheap also. They're actually right here, as you can see. I put them right here. Brand new arms. Are they the best arms in the world? Probably not, but they get the job done. 60 bucks a piece, you can't really complain. And that's the axle right there. That axle was like $85 from a junkyard. It's crazy, right? It's like, it's really cheap, but you know, because this axle fits many cars, and this is an older model. Oh, actually, yeah, it was actually $35, sorry. It said 85. 35 bucks for the whole axle, can you guys believe it? So, as you can see, basically all the suspension pieces cost me maybe $400, if that, you know, which is, I think it's a great deal. But we were inspecting this car, and I see a couple other things that we couldn't see. I don't know if you guys can see it here. I'll try to show you, but if you look there, you see right there, there's a crack. Let me move, like right there where the flashlight is shining. There's like a mount that basically holds the engine to the subframe, and it's cracked. It's aluminum bracket or something. So that's not a good thing, because that means we have to drop the frame, drop the subframe to get to it and to replace it. So that definitely is going to add some extra time to fixing this car. But other than that, there is no other undercarriage damage. So something like this, guys, as you can see, you know, is always a possibility when you're dealing with undercarriage cars. Hidden damage like that, sometimes you can't really tell until you put this car on the lift, you know. So, but again, it's not a huge problem, but definitely it's going to add a few hours extra to our repair project. All right. Obviously, stuff like this here, you know, this looks like it's bent, but it might be all right. This is, I think, a transmission cooler or something. And also over here, as you can see, these two lines, these are auxiliary transmission cooler lines, and the cooler is missing, so somebody just put a hose connecting them. So I got a brand new, not a brand new, again, the used transmission cooler. It was like probably $200 from junkyard. The new one was like $450, something like that. So we saved some money there. Obviously little things like these brackets, but all this is not really important. We're gonna concentrate basically on making this car drivable. So first we're gonna do the suspension, make sure this car runs and drives, and then we'll deal with all the other small pieces when we actually, before we send the car to the body shop to get repaired. And you know, of course, the fender here is broken as well. I showed it to you in the previous video. The fender and this molding and the fender liner is busted as well. But overall, you know, as you guys can see, the damage is not terrible. I mean, there's a lot of parts, but there is no structural damage, you know, which is very important. So all these parts can be replaced, and the car is going to be like new again. So let me show you all the parts that we got for this car, and I'll talk about the price, how much we paid, and things like that. All right, follow me, guys. All right, guys, so here are all the parts that we got for this car. I mean, most of the parts. So The most expensive piece was the front bumper cover. That was, I bought it brand new from BMW. That was like around 1,000 or 1,200 bucks for a piece of plastic. Can you believe it? That's crazy. So, you know, unfortunately nobody had it around, and all these cars have many different options, you know, so it's very hard to find the exact matching bumper cover. So I had to get it brand new. But I also, you know, I found a local junkyard that had this car that just came in, so I got kind of lucky. That car was hit in the right front corner, so it was also a 2017 X6, right? So they did have the bumper, but the bumper cover was busted as well. But there are also a lot of good parts in that bumper. So as you can see, all these grills here, you know, I bought the bumper from the junkyard, and it came with all these guts that were still good. So all these grills, they cost money, you know. And the parking sensor wiring harness with the sensors, this grill is still good, one of them. And that wire too, as you can see, because on our car some wires are damaged as well. So I got basically a pigtail, which is really helpful, you know. And they gave me this whole bumper with the camera, because as you can see in this grill there is also a front camera. That's also expensive. So they gave me that old bumper with all these sensors, all these wires, all these grills, everything for like $300. And guess what? I actually used that bumper as a core to buy this bumper, because BMW charges the core charge $200, and I didn't have the old bumper. So I ended up basically getting all this stuff for like $100, which is great. That's why I'm always telling you guys, if you can, buy stuff used or from a junkyard, because it's gonna save you a lot of money. I got this transmission cooler from them as well, with the housing and everything. These lines I had to get brand new because they're broken as well. These are transmission cooler lines. They were not cheap either, like $200 each. And the fender I got from the same place, from my good friend Sal from A+ Auto Parts. They gave me the whole fender with this thing, with the molding and the fender liner right here. Everything was $350. If you go to a dealer, the fender alone is like $600. This is probably around $200-300 as well. The fender line another couple hundred, so you're looking at like $1,000 if you buy it from a dealer, maybe more. And we bought it for $350 everything, and they gave me this bracket for free. We need it as well. So as you can see, guys, it always pays to get parts used if you can find them. All right. And also I forgot to mention this headlight. So the most expensive parts were the bumper and the headlights for this car, and I'm sure if you guys are familiar with these cars, you know these headlights are big money. Dealer wants like $3,500 each for each headlight. So this light actually, you know, one of these lights was completely destroyed, so I found one on car part for like $900 and had it delivered to me. But this other light was cracked, so the lens was damaged. I found a guy on eBay that actually replaces these lenses, you know, so he was able, we sent him our old light, and he was able to replace this lens, put a brand new lens on it, fix the 2 broken tabs, and now this light looks like new. It looks absolutely great, and it cost me only like $400, which is amazing. We still had the modules, we just took them out for now, but we have them. So basically it cost me like $400 to repair this light, instead of paying a dealer $3,500, or even at a junkyard you can't get it cheaper than like $1,000, you know. So it saved me a lot of money. So as you can see, guys, you know, it's a lot of parts, and it took me a while to get them, but we're getting there. Patience, and it saved us a lot of money, you know, because I bought them in all different places, because I've been doing this for a long time. I know where to get parts. So basically all these parts cost me, let's see, like $1,200 for the bumper, $400 for the light, that's $1,600. The fender is $350, that's $1,950. This is $400, so like $2,350. This thing was like $250, so $26. 26, and then all this bumper stuff basically was $300. So around 3 grand right here in parts, plus the other light that we bought, that was another, let's say 800, so 3,800 plus suspension parts. So a little over $4,000 just in parts, guys, just to give you an idea, which I think is pretty good. That's pretty much what I expected. So now we're gonna put everything together. I'll let you know how it goes, what happened with the broken mount. Hopefully it's nothing serious, and I'll keep you guys updated. Hopefully we're still on track to make at least $10,000 profit on this car. All right, so let's get to work. Let's put the suspension on, and I'll keep you guys updated of how things are going. Thanks for watching. Alright guys, so as you can see, our BMW X6 is running already, finally. You know, it looks different now. You see, after we put all the parts, fix the suspension, Senor Henry did a nice job. And actually I had to put a set of new rims on it, as you can see, because the original wheels that were on this car, two of them were completely destroyed, and they were aftermarket wheels. So I had no choice but to buy a set of new wheels. So I got the ones that this car came came with the factory, 19-inch M Sport wheels. Me personally, I mean, I don't really like them because they seem too small. But you know, some people like original stuff rather than putting some aftermarket wheels. We decided to keep it as, you know, stock as possible. So you know, I had to pay like $1,500 for the rims, plus like $300 for used tires. So it cost me like $1,800 just for the new wheels. And as you can see, everything is done here now. The oil cooler is in place, and we actually gave it to my friend Martin, the guy who actually programmed the key. And he did all the work replacing the engine mount, and the oil pan was cracked, so he had to replace the upper oil pan. It was a lot of work. I paid the guy $1,200, so he gave me a really good deal because this is like a really big job. And that $1,200 included the oil pan as well. And the oil pan is like, used one is $300. So our parts bill definitely gets bigger and bigger. So at this point, you know, we have to add $1,800 for the wheels and $1,200 for repairing the oil pan and the mount. So that's 3 grand right there, plus over 4,000 and other parts that we bought. So I think at this point, this repair will cost us probably around 10,000 or maybe a little bit more. So I don't know how we're gonna make out, because the market is a little bit down right now. It's cooling off a little bit. So I hope the prices for this will still be, you know, up there, because these cars are not too common and people like them. So hopefully we'll still make money on it. I don't know about the 10,000 that we originally were going to make, but we'll try to get it as close as possible. Also, we had to get the horns. They were missing. All the little things, you know, repairing the wiring. This thing was replaced. It cost me another like $300. So all these little parts add up, you know, and that's the problem with hits like that when the car is hit in the front, especially like a German car like this. There's a lot of small parts, and they get damaged, so it's kind of a pain in the neck to look for them. If you can't find like a used, you know, assembly or something, it's very hard to assemble it piece by piece. But you know, I have a lot of experience, so it's okay. But honestly, like it was more work than I expected. And as you can see, guys, I'm wearing a jacket already and the jeans. It's been like a month and a half. We kind of had to put this project on the back burner because we had some other cars that we had to fix. But it's finally ready to go to the body shop. So we're gonna bring it now to Victor's repair shop, bring him all the parts, and I'll show you guys how this thing turned out, okay? Hopefully all this work was worth it. Oh, damn, and I still have to get this mirror, I forgot. That's another $600. All right, guys, see you soon.